Hello there, you're watching National Television News from Ankara, Turkey. My name is Sauda Mganga. Welcome to a news program. I'll bring to you our news headlines today. Former Turkish Finimin warns against rising global debt. The former Turkish Finance Minister Mehmet Şimşek and WBAF Chairman Baylaş Altuntaş speak at a roundtable meeting during the World Business Angels Investment Forum in Istanbul. Kosovo Innovation and Entrepreneurship Minister Besim Begay, Ghanaian Business Development Minister Ibrahim Mohamed Awal, and the President of the European Business Angels Network, Peter Cowley, Macedonian Minister of Regular and Improvement of Investment, Climate, Zora Sapuri, founder of MENA Business Angel Network, Abdul Malik Jabbar, head of United Nations and Industrial Development Organization, Hashim Hussein and the founder of FIBA Holding Husna Oziegin. They all attended the meeting on Monday. Finding investments and providing equity finance may prove more difficult with rising global debt, a former Turkish finance minister warned on Monday. Şimşek also said 1.7 billion people around the world, mostly women, had no access to financing, which he said constituted a serious problem. The roundtable meeting discussed startup economy and business angels, bringing together ministers from Ghana, Kosovo, Macedonia, as well as top representatives from the European Table Association of Business Angels, the World Bank Group, the UN Industrial Development Organization, and the Middle East Trade Association of Business. The two-day forum started on Monday is about to host peacemakers, entrepreneurs, representatives of financial institutions and companies, hundreds of angel investments from all around the world. This year, the WBAF 2019 is the global communication partner and was organized under the theme Connecting Angel Investors with Private Equity Funds to Boost Innovations. During the event, 110 speakers from 42 countries gave speeches in 23 panels, who took 2 masterclasses and 6 international workshops. We are heading our news to Turkey, whereby nearly 3,000 Syrians returned home after Turkish ops. The Minister of Interior said 3,000 Syrians have returned home after Turkey's counter-terror operations in northern Syria. Speaking in the capital of Ankara, Süleyman Soylu said 3,000 Syrians have returned home after the Olive Branch and Euphrates Shield operations, which provided an atmosphere of tranquility and peace. 2016, Turkey's Euphrates Shield and Olive Branch operations in northern Syria have liberated the region from YPG and PKK and Daesh terrorists, including Al-Baid, Afrin and Azaz, making it possible for Syrians who fled the violence there to return home. Syria has only just begun to emerge from a devastating conflict that began in 2011 when the Bashar al-Assad regime cracked down on demonstrators with unexpected ferocity. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have been killed or displaced in the conflict, mainly by regime airstrikes targeting opposition-held areas. Soylu also said that Turkey hosts over 3.6 million Syrians granted international protection status. Turkey also said it has spent more than $32 billion from its own national resources for helping and sheltering refugees since the beginning of the Syrian civil war. The Interior Minister also updated the figures for the irregular migrants held in nationwide operations this year. He also added 6,000 regular migrants were held across Turkey in the first 5 weeks of 2019. Turkey has been the main route for refugees since they are trying to cross Europe, especially since the beginning of the civil war in Syria. Among the migrants held in 2017 in Turkey, the majority came from Pakistan, followed by Afghans and Syrians. One Turkish soldier was killed in northern West Syria district of Afrin. Security sources reported to the Turkish National Defense Minister, saying in a statement that the soldier was killed during military activities in the area of Operational Olive Branch, a counter-terror operation launched by Turkey in early 2018. Syria has only just begun to emerge from a devastating conflict that began in 2011 when the al-Bashar al-Assad regime cracked down on demonstrators with unexpected ferocity. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have been killed or displaced in the conflict, mainly by regime airstrikes targeting oppositional held areas. Since 2016, Turkey's efforts shield and olive branch operations in northwestern Syria have liberated the region from YPG, PKK, and Daesh terrorists, including Alban Afrim Azaz, making it possible for Syrians who fled the violence there to return home. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said, "We have 911-kilometer border with Syria. We are under the threat at any moment." Turkey expects Syria's Manjib region to be rid of terrorists and left to locals as soon as possible, the country's president said on Monday. Speaking in the southwestern Burdur province, Recep Tayyip Erdogan said, "As promised, we expect Manjib to be cleared of terrorists and as soon as possible, and its administration to be left to local people." Turkey has vowed to carry out a counter-terrorist operation in Syria, east of the Euphrates, following two similar successful operations since 2016. The June 2018 Manjib deal between Turkey and US forces on the withdrawal of YPG PKK terrorists from the city to stabilize the region, which is located in the northern part of Syria's Aleppo province. Referring to the northern Syria, Erdogan said, "In the region, only those who do not stand against Turkey but side with it will win." He retreated Turkey's determination to fight terrorism in neighboring Syria, saying, "We will definitely deal a heavy blow to the terror organization soon." Without giving any names, the president criticized countries thousands of kilometers away planning to mount a military operation in Syria. "We have a 911-kilometer border with Syria. We're under threat at any moment," he said. "What kind of NATO alliance is this?" the president asked. "You give terrorists around 23,000 truckloads of weapons and tools through Iraq, but when we ask, you won't even sell them to us." Turkey has repeatedly criticized the US for supplying weapons to the terrorists YPG and PKK. He also meant to fight terror group Daesh, arguing that using one terrorist group to fight another makes no sense. It is more than 30 years terror campaign against Turkey. The PKK, listed as terrorist organization by Turkey, the US, the AU have been responded to the death of some 4,000 people. The YPG and PYD is its Syrian branch. Follow our news with a Turkish woman becoming first foreign degree holder in Gaza. Young Turkish woman Rukiya Demir has become the first Turk and foreigner to have obtained a master's degree from a Palestinian university. Demir, who is 27, has got her degree in psychosocial health from Islamic University in Gaza Strip. She said, "My thesis is about self-awareness and adaptation strategies for women in professionals dominated by males in Gaza." Demir also said she has chosen Palestinian policewomen in Gaza as a sample for her study. Unlike their peers elsewhere, policewomen in Gaza are facing additional obstacles as Israel assaults pose further dangers to them. Policewomen in Gaza are highly willing and capable of adapting to their work. Demir also added, going to the call on the Palestinian government to fulfill the needs of women in male-dominated fields. The government should provide necessary tools and expenses to women all around Palestine and particularly in Gaza. Hailing from Diyarbakir province in southern West Turkey, Demir arrived in Gaza in 2016 to obtain her master's degree. She said, "I got married to a Palestinian," and adding that she's planning to stay in the Strip. She added several offers to work. She got several offers to work in Gaza, but planning to start my own business to provide psychological services to the people in Gaza. She added, "The young Turkish woman is gradually getting the ability to speak Arabic," and she said, "I look forward to obtaining my doctorate from one Palestinian university in Jerusalem when the city is liberated from Israel occupation." Jerusalem remains as the head of the Middle East conflict with Palestinians, hoping that East Jerusalem, occupied by Israel since 1967, might eventually serve as the capital of independent Palestinian state.